Hello, I'm Richard Vobes. I heard on the news this morning that life expectancy has dropped. We are now no longer living longer. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised that life expectancy has stopped because we seem to be poisoning ourselves. I don't know why we're poisoning ourselves, but that seems to be what's happening. Some professor, and I know I've got his name wrong because it sounded like Dr. Marmite, but something like that. He came on the radio this morning as I was sitting in the bath and said, as for the last however long it is, 100 years, 200 years, life expectancy now is slowing right down and that we are no longer living as long as we possibly can. And it's a very unusual thing. And I thought about this as I was wallowing in the bath thinking, yeah, I'm not surprised really because, let's face it, people have been working in the old days as physical labour. We had a whole load of different diseases and things which were killing us off. But now we're not working quite as physically and we've conquered all those physical, nasty medical conditions and we're more or less on top of everything. But life is too easy. Yes, we're not having to work so hard. We're sitting on trains for a couple of hours getting to work. We're sitting behind desks, not getting up very much. We're sending emails. Technology does everything for us. We don't even stand up and wash up anymore. The washing machine will do all the washing, or the dishwasher will do all the washing. We no longer have to do very much. And in order to get about, we get into our cars, we poison the atmosphere with diesel particulates and petrol fumes, we pump out all sorts of stuff into the atmosphere, and is it any surprise that we're not living longer? I was sitting there in the bar thinking, well, I'm not very surprised about this. This doesn't surprise me at all. We're in a very strange situation where we seem to have conquered so many things, but actually what we're not doing is looking after ourselves. People are just not getting up and doing enough exercise, and that's the bottom line. I heard a programme the other day on Radio 4, and it was talking about how work has become so easy that now, even if you were to spend a day on your bum in front of your computer, and when you get home and you go for a walk, or you go down to the gym, or you do whatever it is for your perhaps half an hour or 1 hour, it's not enough. That actually a modest amount of toil all through the day is far better for you than an intensive 1 hour period. That's what they said. And I tend to agree with that. I do think that we're just not looking after ourselves. Look at what the things that people eat and put into their mouths. Life has become so easy now that you can go to the shop and buy a TV dinner, and inside that dinner is a whole load of processed food. It's not good for you, it's not very healthy for you, but it's easy, and everybody seems to want easy. Nobody is prepared to go and do the work. Now, of course, I'm talking in generalisations, but these generalisations do seem to be the trend. Everybody is sitting down on their sofa, gawping at the television, gawping at their mobile phones or their tablets or whatever it might be. They're doing very little in the terms of exercise, and they're eating and drinking all the wrong things. So is it any wonder, I thought to myself, even though Dr. Marmite, or whatever his name is, wants to have an introspection to find out exactly, a study to find out why everybody is not living as long as they might. He said it might be something to do with austerity. It might be something to do with austerity, the UK's government about trying to pay its debts. Well, maybe it has a little bit to do with austerity, but I think it's got a lot more to do with the fact that we have basically become pretty lazy. The other thing that we're doing is those people who are working and are working longer and more strenuous, it's not so much that they're working strenuous physically, they're working strenuous mentally. And I think that's a big problem, that in the workforce we're driving ourselves to an early grave by working far too long, by doing things which are stressing us out mentally, and we're not physically taking out that aggression and that worry and that pain that we have received whilst we're working in some physical form. So I'm not surprised that today's headline is that life expectancy is going down.